Hey, what's up guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to go over the income report for February 2021. You ready? Let's get started. So this channel is all about using the Merch by Income and Etsy opportunities to create online income for ourselves, invest this income in things like the stock market and real estate, to grow our wealth and financial freedom for ourselves and our families. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, February was a pretty insane month. It seems like everything is just gearing up as far as Valentine's Day and getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. It's a great time to be a merch seller for sure. And let's go over what exactly that looked like for the month of February for me. Well, the month of February was pretty amazing. I had $1,066 in revenue. I spent $166 on ads, which left me with a profit of $905 for Amazon. This is insane, and I love it. It is just a huge blessing to be able to have this income, to invest in the stock market, to prepare myself and my family for a better life in the future, and to do things that we normally couldn't do or we haven't been able to do in the past. Now, like I've said before, I invest all this money in the stock market, and it's just one of those things. It's insane to see how much the market has grown. We'll get into that a little bit later, but for right now, I've said this in almost every video, but please just grasp this, that if you are in merch, if you are in Etsy and you're making great money online, please do not let that money go. Do not let it just go in one hand, come in one hand and go out the other. Invest this income. You're given a great opportunity to be given $900 and potentially grow that to $2,000 in the stock market if you invest it in the future, and then take that money out then. So do what you can to have a mindset of delayed gratification. Do what you can to build as much income as you can now, invest that income, and grow it even more later. And then, who knows, maybe you'll be a millionaire by the time you're 30. Because I know a lot of you guys watching this are a little younger. Some of you might be around my age, around 30, and you might be a millionaire by the time you're 40. But anyway, great goals to have either way. Continue to keep the work up. I know that you guys are doing great. And let's move on to what Etsy did for me. Etsy was $608 in revenue. I spent $495 on the cost of the products, and a profit of $113. This is great as well. I really don't do much with Etsy. Etsy is one of those things where I just kind of keep it around, and I'll use it for birthday gifts. I'll use it for other things like that, for friends and family, and to treat my wife every now and then. But Etsy is one of those things where I just kind of hold on to that money and kind of let it add to my quality of life. It's one of those things where I do kind of indulge a little bit and reap the rewards of being in this position that we're in, where we can create income for ourselves online. So let's talk about the top producers for Merch by Amazon. It's a little different because I was expecting a bit more from Valentine's Day this year, but I guess a holiday that celebrates affection and physical touch is exactly a great thing post 2020, or close to being 2020. So anyway, top sellers for Amazon were St. Patrick's Day, autism awareness, and realtor shirts. Now, St. Patrick's Day, specifically, it was St. Patrick's Day teacher shirts. Remember, we have talked about this before. If you niche down, you're going to have a better opportunity to have an amazing seller. Now, this doesn't have to be niching down so far as St. Patrick's Day teacher shirts for art teachers, but if you're able to get a sub-niche of St. Patrick's Day like teachers, it will obviously give you a great result. So from these 3 designs alone, I made $442 last month, which was almost half of what my entire revenue was for the month of February. So again, we're going to talk about it. Make sure you're going after these bigger niches. I don't want to say don't waste your time with micro niches, but remember that these bigger niches are where the money is. And I'll link to my video on ads here, where you can learn about how to make ads at 3x your income. And I need to do a video also in the future following up on how to get into ads in Merch by Amazon, because I know a lot of people have been struggling with getting access to AMS. right off the bat, you need to know that if you are in Merch by Amazon and you don't have access to AMS and you're under tier 25 to maybe 50 or 75, then it is likely that you are just not quite there yet as far as having a large enough account to warrant you having access to AMS. So that's mostly where people are right now. If you get over tier 50 to 75, then you will likely get access to AMS. Anything under that, you're just a little too small and you need to keep going. But remember, delayed gratification. Keep working, keep pressing, and keep going, because as you can see, the income is going to be worth it. So just keep pushing. And remember, you're making sales all along the way. So it's not like you're exercising in futility here. You're making money in the process of making more money in the future. So keep going. Don't be discouraged. And remember that you can do it. And if you need someone to tell you they believe in you, I believe in you. I have no doubt in my mind that you can do it. So let's talk about the runners up for Merch by Amazon. The runners up were ice fishing, autism, or no, sorry, not autism, ice fishing, anti-Valentine's Day, and breast cancer. There was another autism awareness shirt in there, but breast cancer was the next next niche of shirts that are in there. And these three shirts, it's a little bit of a hodgepodge of ice fishing is obviously phasing out. We're getting into March, and snow is melting in a lot of places. I know snow is definitely not melting in a few places up north. Louisiana conveniently got a nice little ice storm, so that was interesting. That hadn't happened in, I think they said, 70 years. The last time Louisiana got a single-digit temperature day. But anyway, ice fishing is on its way out. Anti-Valentine's Day, like I said, I thought that Valentine's Day was going to do well this year because, the teacher space was picking up, but, is what it is. We'll work harder for next year and come back even better and have more designs for it next year. And breast cancer, like we've talked about in the past, breast cancer is one of those niches where it is a great seller year-round because people are struggling with this disease year-round. So if you can make something and have it ranked now, from March into October, you're going to do great because October is the breast cancer awareness month where sales really take off because people are, buying shirts because they're in marches or they want to show support for the people that they love in the space where people are suffering with breast cancer. So that's where I am with merch. And as far as Etsy, this store has been established since 2018, and it is a store in the athletic niche of athletics. And so anyway, it's pretty not stagnant, but it's just pretty stable. It brings in sales. It's grown 100% over last year. I put out maybe 1 or 2 designs a month. I make sure that these designs are hyper specific because this is a niche store, and so it is a little bit more branded. And releasing a ton of designs like some people do in Etsy works for them, but for this type of niche store, I've noticed that having just a few releases that are very targeted to the mentality of this specific person is more helpful. And in the future, it's going to help because I'm going to have a t-shirt press of my own, and I'm going to be able to create and produce the designs myself, and that is going to lead to a huge level of profitability. So stay tuned for that. That's coming very soon. I'll be doing videos showing where I set up my t-shirt press, how I'm going to set it up, and the process of eventually taking it out of Printful's hands into my hands and then increasing the profits probably 200 to 300% for Etsy. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great time of information and learning for all of us. So get ready. And now let's talk about why I do what I do. And this is probably the most enjoyable part of all this because in the beginning, whenever I was investing in the stock market, it felt like it was just pennies. I'd see people with like $30 or $40 or $100,000 stock market accounts, and they're investing $2,000 to $3,000 at a time. And I was over here just with my little portfolio, and I had like $4,000 to my name. And if you'll remember, in December, I think the stock account was worth $5,000. It was pretty beaten down, and I just, I struggle with belief in myself, I'm sure like a lot of you do. And it was one of those times where I just didn't know what I was doing wrong. And in the end, it's always perseverance. I know that I did the right the right research on these companies. I knew the companies that I had invested in were going to do well in the future. I just had to keep going. And that's the story of a lot of our lives. We do the right research. We know that it's going to work. We have the belief. We just have to keep going. So let's talk about what this stock market account has done and where it's headed. So like I said, in December, it was $5,000. January, it was $8,000, which was a return of 17%. And in February, it is $12,000 and $12,332, leading to a return of 47%. That's pretty incredible. I crossed over the not the six-figure club, but I'm into the 10,000 and above club, and it's a great feeling because it's a validation of the fact that the companies that I've invested in are actually performing the way that I thought they would. What they're providing is being seen as necessary to the market, and it is an insane opportunity, like I said, to invest the income that we're making from Merch by Amazon and grow it even further so that we can basically get paid 2 to 3 times more than what we made from Merch by Amazon. So, what are these companies that I'm invested in that are doing so well? Ametis is one that I've done a video on most recently. That was on Monday. Dropbox is one that I am going to do a video on Friday. And Vuzix is one of those companies. It's an augmented reality company, augmented virtual reality company that uses glasses to work in a lot of different spaces. I'll link to that video here, the most recent one that I've done on their company. And Hyliion, which is a play on the EV space, but Hyliion mostly specializes in the Class 8 freight trucks that or 18-wheelers that drive around and supply most of America with our essentials. So all of these companies are working in incredibly different spaces, but they're all incredibly valuable in their own way. I'm going to link to Hyliion's video here. But anyway, all these companies have done great with the exception of Hyliion. Hyliion's kind of just like bouncing off the bottom for a while, and I feel like it's going to take off in the future because if you watch any of the videos that I've done, they have an amazing potential and they're going to provide an amazing amount of value for the consumer in America and across the world. So stay tuned for that, and likely once Hyliion actually gets out of the hole, the stock market account that we have is going to take off, and maybe we'll be at 30,000 by the end of the year. But the accounts or the stocks that I'm going to be investing most heavily in with this money are probably Ametis and Vuzix, because these two have shown the most potential as far as setting themselves up for growth in the future. And like I said, watch those videos to see what exactly they're doing that is going to lead to that growth. But Hyliion is my second largest position. Vuzix is my largest position. Ametis is, I think, number 4. But anyway, this is a great time to be invested, to continue investing, and to just do what we can to help each other and give information like this to our friends and family so that we don't only keep this wealth for ourselves, but we're able to help others get to these levels of wealth as well in the future. So remember, pay it forward and do what you can to help somebody. I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you later on Friday. And remember, someone is going to do something amazing every day, guys. Why not you? See you.